couple of months of practice, what these guys are going to be able to do.
When you want to get off that darkest ground.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the AOR F1 Hype Energy series here at Season 5. We are at the Bahrain circuit today, what an iconic circuit it is, one known for its tumultuous and somewhat hard to navigate turns 9 and 10, the double left-hander, as you're about to see here, hopefully. Apologies. Sorry, I was supposed to have a track mark that didn't come up. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're about to get underway for qualifying now. We're just waiting for the first of the drivers to come out of the pits. What is going to be a very, very great qualifying session here today at Bahrain. It is, of course, nighttime, and we have our first cars coming out of the pits now, and that means we shall transition over to the live feed. Here we are. So we're going to go on board with some of our cars as we leave the pits now. The first of your pit leavers seems to be the Toro Rosso, as they are the first on the outlap. Let's have a gander. That would be Freeze here. We're going to go on board. I think we're missing some engine noise. That's weird. Hold on. What's going on here? Man. Alright, bear with me for 1 minute. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and head back to our waiting screen then. while we sort out the issues. Sorry about that. It does happen every now and then. We're going to have to back out of the live feed and re-enter it. Hopefully that should fix the issues with engines sounds. I joined a couple of lobbies beforehand. There weren't any issues with this. This seems to be something that's a bit new. Let's go ahead and hopefully, oh god, hopefully somebody can join back in. Alright, so we're going to have to bear with us for just 1 second. I'm going to take the opportunity to try and see if we can fix this here. There we are. Yep, awesome. So, no, it's a little bit postponed, most likely. However, here's the track map. As you can see, we have a start-finish line, Sector 1, Sector 2, Sector 3, split up fairly evenly. We have 3 DRS zones today on the first, second, and third straights, and turn 9 and 10 being the corners that tend to pose the most threat for drivers out today on the field. So as we load back into the circuit now for the Bahrain GP, and hopefully we'll have engine noise this time. I'll be able to confirm that in just a second. Yes, we do. Here we are. So we're on board now with Miniature Man as he crosses the line for what I believe should be his first time-setting lap, and he's managed to put down a 32.2 today. Zombie Honda putting down provisional pole of a 30.024. DJRT P17 cannot go faster with a 31.3. Mitchie only manages a 49.4. You have to think he backed off in the lap. Panache takes provisional pole. Scratch that. We have Dill now going 0.8 of a second quicker on the medium tires, I believe that was. Yes. Let's see. Zombie has qualified on the soft tires. However, Panache and Dill are going at it on the mediums, hoping maybe for a one-stop strategy in today's race. We'll see if they can make that an eventuality. Bahrain, of course, very power-heavy circuit, though. However, there are some corners that do end up being quite degrading on the tires. It looks like we have Dill going out for another lap, perhaps. We'll see. You see Panache there, deciding to back off of traffic. This might give Dill a chance here, if he is still on a lap, that is, to push forward and potentially have the opportunity to get a bit of a draft, increase his lap times. So going throughout the field so far, it looks like we have a mix of qualifiers on the softs and the mediums today. We have one driver, RBHR Edge, out on the hard tires. That's something perhaps that might give him an advantage in the later stages of the race. He's not far off. Pardon me. He's not far off on the pace compared to the other drivers so far today. Withers is only 0.03 of a second ahead of Edge, and he's on a soft tire, so definitely some more pace to find for Withers. Zadonna now manages to put down a 1:29.5. Let's see if we can get to him. It's not letting us go up for some reason, so back down we go. Zadonna, the teammate of Dill's in the Renault, so maybe Dill's now letting Zadonna slot him behind and get a bit of a draft. We'll see if this improves his lap times at all. We now have a new pole sitter on the mediums in the Williams DT 360 Onyx with a 1:29.1. Only a tenth quicker than Dill. So that's taken both the Renaults off of the front row. Or sorry, it's taken the third place Renault off the front row, and it's taken Dill off of first place so far. So that means that now we have Dill he's having to put the power down here in order to try and stay ahead of his teammate. However, his teammate is going to have an advantage in these sections, as we see now, as he will, in fact, be able to put down, have less resistance in the straight lines, which will allow him to get a better lap time if he can string it through the corners. Now, dirty air is, of course, a factor in these laps, although in Bahrain, a power-oriented circuit, it is more likely to be the case that this lap time will come out better than the other one. So we look now as the two drivers cross the line. Dill's going into the pits. Zidane going into the pits also. So, bit of a pass there right before the pit entry. So obviously that was my mistake. They weren't trying to better the lap times there. So the two Renaults, Zidane is 3 tenths behind on the softs, and Dill was 4 tenths. 2 tenths of off pole so far, and I believe he was running the mediums. So we have a new pole sitter so far in the Haas Savory of Mince Pie with a 29 flat. We expect the times to only increase throughout the duration of the session today. We do, however, have the Williams in second place provisionally at the time being. In third place, we have the Alfa Romeo Sauber, just the Alfa Romeo these days, with a 29.142, so not far behind the car ahead, only 0.02 of a second, and only a tenth off of pole position at this time. It's very likely that if anybody wants to take pole off of Savory Mince Pie today, they're going to be having to push into the 128s, so it'll be interesting to see if drivers can accomplish this. Looking out throughout the rest of the field, we have... Let's see if we can find a driver on an outlap. Yep, that's Withers. We're going to go on board with Withers for a little bit here now. So Withers, heading into turn 9 and 10, looking to qualify or seeing if he can do better in his lap time with the hard tires today. That will give him an advantage in the later stages of the race. But we'll see if he can make it worthwhile with his starting position. We have Zombie Honda now as well, out in the hards. Max on the hards. So the two Mercedes are looking at the hard tires strategy to start off with. However, we do have Zombie on the hards ahead in the Red Bull Racing Honda car right there. Powered by Honda, of course, in real life. Just ahead of him by less than a 100th of a second. We have Panish in the Toro Rosso. And that closes out the top 10, him being the last runner of the top 10, of course, and being the last of the drivers in the 30. So if any drivers want to break into the top 10 that aren't already there, they'll be looking at 29s today in their lap times. We have a 27.9 from Mitchie in the Williams. He's absolutely blasted the lap of Savory out of the water. Generally, you can consider the... not sure what's going on there. Generally, you can consider the lap times of the soft tires to be about in the 7/10 quicker mark, which means that if you adjust that lap, it's still about a 28.6 compared to the the medium tires that Savory Mince Pie was running when he ran his lap. So we'll see if Savory can respond to that. It might be worthwhile for him to not qualify on the soft, stay on the mediums, and see if he can win the race on strategy, maybe pulling a one-stop out of his hat for the race. Alright, so we're going to go on board now with... Let's see, we'll go on board with an outlap driver here. We'll see if Zombie can better his lap when he comes around the next time to start his qualifying lap on the hards. This looks like it may be interesting. I'm not sure whether or not. Let's see if we can pull up the lap data here. He's on the outlap, so we'll see how his sector times fare up in this car today. And as we cross into the first DRS zone and across the start-finish line, his lap time begins. Actually, somebody's put down a 29.1, so I'm not sure why it was telling us that was his outlap. but it would seem that that wasn't the case, so Zombie has actually bettered his time by about a second on the hard tires, which is quite a feat. So very clearly has the pace to push down in the 28s if he takes another set of tires out. I'm not sure if he's going to be pushing for another lap now. However, there are 6 minutes left in the session. We have Calbo off the track, probably letting a driver pass. That would be the number 75 Ferrari. However, no DRS open, so probably not a qualifying lap. I think that was Owens? Yes, so Owens now. Sorry, the number 78, not 75. In the Scuderia Ferrari, on his out lap. Getting ready to set a lap. Let's see if he can get himself out of the bottom 10 so far today. Also got a new microphone today. So far I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm hoping that it holds up and would allow me to better my commentary in both of this and the LSE 100. So, let's have a gander around the field right now and see if anything interesting is happening. Of course, qualifying is a bit of a lull time. Gives you a chance to talk about some stuff. Yeah. So, let's have a look around. Dill's on a cooldown lap. Calbo looks like he's also on a cooldown lap. Owens is yielding position to provide himself with more space, and it looks like he's spun on his out lap on the run to the start-finish line. That will really hurt him. He's got to try and come back into the pits now before the next, before it comes too late to run a lap. He's either going to go into the pits or he's going to continue straight. And you saw him think about the pits there for a second. He's not going to try for a qualifying lap now. Owens, I'm not sure what's going on with my lap times. He shouldn't have been able to just beat his personal best there. That's an interesting one. Alright. So, looking around the field now, we have Calbo. It looks like he's on a lap. Let's see where his sector 2 times stand once he crosses the line. Or once he crosses the second split, sorry. Calbo now, again in the Alfa Romeos. Oh, and he's just spun out there. And that's gonna cause him damage to his front wing. And ultimately may end his qualifying run today at P7 as it stands. Mitchie has gone out on the softs. So he's going to be looking to beat his lap time in the Rocket Williams racing car. So, for the time being, on an out lap, it seems like the track's getting a little bit faster. However, so far only 2 cars in the 28s for today's race. So looking around the field, we have a couple of cars coming out now for what will presumably be their last qualifying runs. We have Panesh now heading out on his flying lap. As we run on board with him, we'll go on board with him for the lap here. So, turn 1, takes a nice line, stays in the middle so he can cut across the apex here into turn 2. Turn 3 comes out, takes it back wide, DRS activated. As you see him on the run down there. Takes a nice line back at the outside, swings to the middle of the track to allow him to get a better line through the S's here, tight on the apex here, holds it onto the outside of the curb, takes a nice break, making sure not to lock up the inside right tire, holds it back around the outside, and into turn 9 and 10, he's going to have to make a choice about whether he brakes tentatively or aggressively. He comes down, manages to avoid the lockup, comes back around to the DRS activation zone. He's going to be chasing down the car ahead of him to try and get a little bit of draft there. But he's also going to be hoping that that won't affect him with dirty air. As he comes out onto the curb, hits the apex on the left side, just brushes the curb on the outside. It goes power down now, brushes the apex back on the inside so he can come into the right side. Back on the outside, brushes the apex here, comes under the Rolex bridge, runs a little bit wide. That shouldn't invalidate his lap time though. So we're going to see if this will improve his time at all with 1 minute 30 left in the session. comes in, brushes the apex, going to push him out a little bit wider than he may want to be. He's not going to get the best drive out on that on the curbs there. And on the softs, he crosses the line with a 128.7. So still 8 tenths off of the Williams, who we're going to go on board with now through the S's on his qualifying lap. Seeing if he can beat his times. He's going to have the Renault ahead that may affect him with blocking, but Zadonna comes off to the right side now and lets him through. The Rocket Williams car now, just past the apex, brushes, hits the brakes, manages to avoid a lockup, gets control of the car, gets a nice drive out the corner, DRS open. We're going to look at his sector times here and see what happens when he crosses the line from Sector 2 into Sector 3. DRS closed, enters the corner here, doesn't take it all the way out to the outside curb, but keeps it to the outside of the following corner, comes around back to the outside into the inside, tries to keep it from running wide, manages to do so very nicely, stays off the curb, allowing him to get a better drive. As we come down here, he's going to want to try and avoid the apex riding over it, because it will push his car out of the corner. And he does so very nicely, using a little bit of the camber there to actually push him around, the camber created by brushing that curb a little bit. He opens DRS, and going to cross the line for a 127.4, so he's better than his lap time by 2 tenths now. I believe it was 0.203. We're going to go on board with some other drivers now coming in for qualifying. So we have the Renault of Dill. Dill is going to be moving his way into turn 9 and 10, just behind the Red Bull. He's gone in a little bit wide. It's going to lose him a bit of drive on the exit now. He opens DRS. He's going to be having to try and conserve a bit more momentum if he wants that to work. Qualifying is officially over, so once drivers cross the line, that is where they finish. Benny F1 crosses the line with a 28.2, and that's going to allow him to get a better position up into the front row for the time being. On provisional pole, we have Mitchie with a 27.7. Is still going to be able to reclaim his second place position. DJ Pierce comes now into 4th place with a 28.5. Panish is retired from the session, which means that he will be finishing in 5th place. And now we have B Dubstep comes up momentarily into 3rd position, but Dill takes a spot back, only 8 hundredths behind Benny F1. We're going to go on board with Savory Mince Pie as he comes out of the last corner now into the pit, so he's not on a flying lap. Zombie is on his out lap, however. Zombie's the last car on track. It looks like he's on a flying lap, apologies. DRS open and crosses the line for a 28.173. That will put him into 5th position today. And with 2 cars closing into the pits, that will be your race order for today. Zadonna has managed pole position with a 27.5, putting the Renault on pole by 2 tenths compared to where he thought he would be a while ago. What a close qualifying session that was at the end. Only 2 tenths between Zadonna and Mitchie. And as we are about to head into the race, one can only imagine the strategy calls that will be made throughout this endeavor. So here is your grid order then. Zadonna has taken pole position on the softs, Mitchie on the softs. That rounds out your front row. In 3rd position we have Benny F1 on the mediums. 4th position we have Dill on the softs. 5th, 6th, and 7th all running softs, mediums with Zombie Hunter, B-Dubstep, and DJ Peart. In 8th and 9th, we have 2 soft runners once again with Panache and Savory Mince Pie. In 10th and 11th, we have Owens and DT3600 with the mediums. And that rounds your top 13 out. In 14th position, we had the Toro Rosso once again on mediums. And we're going to take this opportunity to go back to get ready for the race as we're about to get underway now. Here we go. And we're away for the formation lap now. Zadonna, your first place runner in the Renault, number 22. His teammate starting in 4th, so the Renault's managing to score positions on the 2 front rows today. Your front row will be Zadonna and Michi. In 3rd and 4th, we have Benny, F1, and Dill. In 5th and 6th, we have Zombie Hunter and B-Dubstep in the Red Bull Racing cars. In 7th and 8th, we have DJ Peart, or DJRT P17, which can be DJ from now on, and Panesh in 8th. 9th and 10th, we have Savory Mince Pie and Owens. That rounds out your top 10. In 11th and 12th, we have DT3600 next, and Calabo Oz just in front of his teammate RBHR Edge in the Alfa Romeo racing car. In 14th and 15th, we have Freeze and Miniature Man. 16th and 17th, we have Max Mate and Withers in the 2 Mercedes racing cars. And in 18th, we have the Haas driver of Watchman New Zealand. So, predictions for today's race. Your P1 sitter is on softs. Your P2 sitter is in softs. Your P3 sitter is on mediums. Your P4 sitter is on softs. P5, P6. Not sure what happened to P7 there. Drivers have taken different compounds, and that will allow them to, with the opportunity to push different amounts at different points in a race. So if we go on board with our pole sitter as they come up to the starting line now, you see Michi here at P2 has jumped the gun and got there a little bit earlier than pole, and AI will be taking control of the cars now as we come up to the start-finish line. You're going to see the cars gridding up here. Let's look for a camera angle that might allow us to actually see the start of this race. A lot of colorful cars on the field today. 18 drivers, 29 laps of the Bahrain Grand Prix, and we will be getting underway shortly. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 lights, 5 lights. It's lights out and the power's gone. Zadonna gets an okay start. It's going to be Michi who gets a better start. He's going to be looking for the inside line. However, Zadonna comes across, closes the door. The McLaren now comes around the outside, looks for a move. Going too wide with the Williams now. That's going to give him second position if he can hold it, and he has. Looking a little bit further back now, the field seems to be pretty stable, although we do have the Toro Rosso of DT300, I believe that is. Let's see, no, sorry, that's the Toro Rosso Panesh going too wide with the number 24 car, the Mercedes-Benz. We're going to look on his perspective here. Closes the door a little bit, the Mercedes backs out, and that is your first few corners done and dusted. Your race leader at this moment remains Zadonna. However, Benny F1 has managed to gain second position. Gets a somewhat bad drive out of the corner, comes across the curb a little bit, loses about a tenth there. And looking a bit further back, we have Mayhem, as we have Calabo now looking past. He's managed to pass Owens, and DJ just ahead, less than half a second up the road in the Ferrari. Between the drivers, we have Dill now. He's looking forward for the second place sitter in qualifying, Michi. He may be able to look at the draft here. He's not too far behind. He's definitely going to be able to look for a move if he decides that it's what he wants. These two cars are both on the softs today. You see... Pardon. You see... Go on board now with Dill just behind Michi in the Williams car. He's going to be looking for a potential move. He hits the car up. He's sitting in the draft. Is he going to be close enough to make a move? He thinks about it. He throws one up the inside, and that is going to be Dill into P3 with a move on the inside. Can Michi fight back? He's a little bit too far back, and it's just been a backwards race for Michi so far today. He's gone from second position to fourth position in this race. We're going to go on board now with Zombie Hunter, who would be the next attacker to Michi. See if Michi can compose himself here after what has been what some would call a dismal start to the race so far. hopefully he will be able to regain some confidence after those moves there. However, the Red Bull Racing just behind Mitchie now, looking for a mistake for the two in front to start battling. There's a position change between 12th and 13th now. That is Freeze, the teammate of Panesh, up into P12. So Panesh slipping back a little bit now. The Mercedes driver, Max Mate, who started further down the grid, I believe it was P15 or so, has managed to make his way up into 10th position for this race so far. You have the Williams driver behind a DD3600. Donna puts down a 32.2 to set the bar for fastest lap in this race so far. DRS has been enabled. A couple drivers already out of the detection zones. However, drivers further up the field, Mitchie's made a mistake, and that's going to be Zombie into fourth position there. Only a couple attempts behind. DRS is open for these two cars here. They are looking for an opportunity to make the pass happen, and Zombie has made it happen. However, Mitchie is going to be looking to reciprocate. So already now, Mitchie down from P2 to P5. We go on board now with Max, who is just behind the Williams. Oh, that's a touch. That's a touch from Max to DT3600. It doesn't look like there was any damage from that contact. However, once again he locks up. That's a tap once again. Max is just being aggressive and maybe overcooking a little bit into a few corners. He slips out now, comes out of the slipstream, makes a move up the inside of DT3600, and that is going to be the move completed. A little bit of argy-bargy going on there. Freeze cuts the corner a little bit just behind. He's looking for a position now on the Williams driver to make it back into the points just outside. Sorry, with Max just ahead trying to keep up. We go down to 15th. We have the Haas driver there. However, we have a sector flag, yellow sector flag in Sector 2 and 3. There's been an incident somewhere. Where is that? I'm not sure. However, DJ now looks for a move up the inside of Mitchie. That is DJ into 5th position. Mitchie is just going backwards in this race and doesn't seem to be able to recover. He looks around the outside now. He is looking for the move. However, DRS is open on both cars now. And as we head down here, we are looking at a solidification of the position change between Mitchie and DJ. There's been a 3-second time penalty dished out to Watchman New Zealand for multiple warnings on track limits, and that will hurt his race. A 3-second time penalty, so now he has to gap whatever position he wants to try and hold by 3 seconds. Mitchie, unable to combat any of these cars as of yet, is just not able to push up. We go down to Max. Max is a bundle of cars just ahead of him. The Williams that he was fighting earlier has once again regained its position. And we're going to be looking to see if DT3600 can hold the position. Calabo directly ahead. And just ahead of him, Owens in the Ferrari. So these four drivers, are looking on positions for each other. Calabo will have DRS from the car ahead. However, so will the Williams, so it will come down to energy management. Who has managed their energy the best so far? The Williams gets a little bit of what looks like a tire lock up on the backside, nearly spinning out a little bit, but manages to hold position. Now we have the Dravs plus DRS factor. You see the Williams is just closing in. It slips out for a move, go up the inside, decides to slot back in, not going to make it work there, and he's pushing back up once again to the second DRS zone. Is this going to be an overtaking opportunity? I'm going to ride on board. He's looking for it, but it's just not going to materialize. He's too far back. Owens is just ahead, though, so if these two drivers ahead start battling, and that's going to be a pass by DT3600, on the Alfa Romeo car, just not getting a good drive out the corner. That has allowed DT3600 to get the position. So that is DT up into 9th position now. Further up the road, Mitchie still holding on to the backside of that Ferrari up ahead from DJ, and he's going to be looking to make his way back up the field. He is on the softs today, So he is on the faster tire and is just not making it work today so far. Back down to Max. Oh, and that's a massive spin from Max. He's gone wide. He's lost the rear end of the car. And that's a massive disappointment for him. So far, managed to make his way up from P15 into P11. And he just threw it away there by overcooking it on that corner. That is going to be a tough one for him, and he's going to have to try and make that up on the drivers. If we go now, we have Panish taking the first pit stop, and he has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lanes. We're going to look at what tires he goes in now. A Miniature Man has also got a 5-second penalty. He's putting the softs on. Sorry, it showed mediums for a second there. We're going to look at the pit stop from Miniature Man here, and he too is going for the soft tires. However, it looks like they've had to refix the front wing, and ultimately that is going to be, once again, more time off of his race. Going to go on board now with Zombie. Zombie gets DRS on the Renault up ahead, and he's going to be pushing. However, it's just not going to materialize in that straight. He's using the DRS to close up the position now, and hopefully on the next start-finish line, he will be looking for the position change. We're going to go on board with Zombie now as we push through the second to last sector. Now. He's already looking for a move. He may think about backing out to solidify it, which he does, so that he can get a DRS detection on Dills ahead. This will allow him to solidify the move, if possible, using DRS. You just see the instantaneous activation, which allows him to get less drag, goes further towards turn 1, and gets the move done at this time. However, Dills is going to look to fight back. He goes now across the apex there. He may have DRS, it depends who has it. He has DRS here, so he's going to be looking for a move back up the inside. Ultimately, he's going to get on the brakes a bit too early to make that work, and that is Zombie up in the 3rd position. So Dill, the driver starting in P4 today, is back down to P4. However, don't count him out just yet, as we have another position change further back between Owens and the Williams of DT. These two, the Williams has been making a recovery drive after losing some positions at the start, and this has allowed him to really come up to the back of this Ferrari up ahead. It looks like he's going to get a better run as the Ferrari loses the back end a little bit going through there. That's going to be DRS for the Williams now as he comes up behind Owens, looking to regain a bit of the time lost in the corner. And this may provide him with an avenue to look for a pass. However, we have Benny F1 closing the gap to 4/10 from the leader now. The two Renault-powered cars, the McLaren in 2nd, the Renault in 1st. That's DRS open. Just look at the difference in speed there. The Renault is going to move inside for defense, come back out towards the outside just a little bit. The McLaren takes a wider line looking for a opportunity to push up in the second DRS zone as we come through now, and they're going to go 2x2 into turn 4. Almost a little bit of touch. Oh, and that's massive damage there. Benny F1 touched slightly by the Renault of Sedona. That is a DNF for today's 2nd place sitter. Sorry, for your pole sitter, I believe, today. And ultimately, that is his race completed. Not the finish that he was looking for. However, it looked like a racing incident. The two drivers were just not careful enough around each other. Calabo now only 7/10 behind DT, who is himself about a second behind Owens. So he's lost a little bit of time now. So he's going to be trying to push back up. The Williams ahead. The Alfa Romeo that we're on board with now. Savory Mince Pie has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings of corner cutting. the Alfa Romeo driver now entering Sector 3. We have our leader in the pits. He's going to come out in traffic if circumstances don't change. You see him going. He's going onto the medium tires. Sorry, mediums? He's going onto the medium tires. Yes, I was correct the first time. It's just been a little bit flashy with the tires. So he's going to be coming out in P9. And this will hurt his race most likely, as he just is not going to be able to put down the outlap pace that he's looking for. So there we have our Benny F1 leaving the lobby, the driver who was ultimately taken out. Not the way you want to finish a Grand Prix today, not the way you would like to finish it at all. We're going to ride on board now with Benny F1, sorry, not Benny F1, it was Donna as he makes the pass on the Haas and the Hards. So the Haas driver now, one of the qualifiers on the Hards, they're going to go 2x2 into turn 9-10. A bit of a corner cut there from the Haas driver, and that will result in a worse drive at the corner. However, neither drivers seem to have or realize that they have DRS, so they won't be activating it this time. However, we're just going to look at this real quick. Benny F1 was in 6th position in the championship, so this is really going to hurt his championship so far. DNF is not the way that you want to start off the championship. It is second race, and at this point, it is not what is wanted at all. Freeze up ahead, only 8 tenths behind. He's going to have DRS most likely if he was within detection range. We'll have a look and see if that was the case. And it was. He's closed right back up now to Calbo now. Calbo is still 1.1 seconds behind. We're going to look to see if the Toro Rosso can get a move done using the DRS that it will have down this sector from turn 3 to 4. Ultimately, not enough of a run, not enough space to make it work. Down to B dubstep now in P15. He's making a move on the Mercedes of Max Mate. Back to Max Mate. He's going to get a little bit late on the brakes. A bit of a bump. He's going to lose his drive there. It's going to be pushed back into the corner. And ultimately, that is B dubstep up into P14. We're going to go back on board now with Freeze, who is still closing up on Calbo, only 4 tenths behind at the start of this DRS activation sector, and that will give him the opportunity to look for a move. Just behind, however, is Donna in the Renault. This is your effective race leader so far, who is pushing to try and make his earlier stop than his rival at the moment work out. You see the Renault now looking for a move into the final corner of the race. Managed to lunge down the inside. It's going to leave him with a bit of a worse drive than he'd want to try and catch Calbo. Ultimately, that is the position made up for Zidane, up into P7 on the track. P5, 2 more cars in the pits. They are looking at mediums. Oh, sorry, they are looking at change to softs for, mediums for the Williams, and unsafe release, change to the mediums for the Ferrari. Going to go back on board now with Sedona, who has gotten past the Alfa Romeo, so that is going to be him out in the open air at this time. Owens only 7 tenths behind the Williams. So before, the Owens was in first position, I believe, and due to a bad pit stop potentially, that has cost him that position in the race. Max Mate has retired from the session. I'm not sure what happened there. We'll see if we can see. It looks like he may have crashed in the wall somewhere. I'm not sure what happened though, but we do have a yellow sector 3 now, as Freeze is only 5 tenths behind Calabo. He's still pushing up for P5 in this race, and I'm not sure what's going on there. It looks like he had a bit of a spin, although it did get a bit laggy on our end. Not spin, sorry, just a bit of a slide. And that is going to be all the time that he had made, lost to Calabo ahead. as we're nearing the halfway mark in only 2 or 3 laps of this race. It's already been quite an interesting race. We have Donna putting in the fastest lap at this moment in time. Freezing the pits, he's going to be going from, I guess we'll find out in just a second. He'll be going onto the hard tires, looking to make a one-stop work from the rest of the race. This might give him the advantage for drivers, against drivers who have attempted the 2-stopper. Dill's now in 7th position, only a second behind Watchman up ahead. Watchman, remember, has a 3-second time penalty for multiple excursions off the track. And so, Dill only has to be within this distance. In fact, Mitchie only has to be within this distance from Watchman to try and make the move happen. Looking ahead, though, that's going to be DRS for the Renault. And closing the gap, we know that Dill will want to get past because this man started in P4 today, and he will be looking for all the positions he can gather. He did find 1 or 2 off the start and slip back down to P4. I'm not sure where he sits right now at this moment. However, this is going to be an attempt for a move as Calbo loses a little bit of grip. Watchman is going to look for the opportunity. He makes a move towards the inside of the corner. Calabo is going to have DRS, it looks like, down the start-finish straight. It just looks like he's losing a lot of grip right now as he is going into the pits to put a fresh set of tires on. The Renault will have DRS down the straight to try and close down the Haas. The Haas looks like it is using as much energy as it has. A Zombie comes across, and that is P4 for Dill. Once again, P3 if Watchman has not pitted yet, and that's going to be almost a touch there from the Renault onto the Watchman. That's going to allow Zombie to close up on these two. We're going to go on board with him as Dill makes a lunge around the outside on the hard-tired Watchman so far. So Watchman is still on the hards that he started the race on, and we'll be looking to switch to mediums a bit later on. We have Zombie now on the hards as well. Fresher hards, so he looks for the inside. That's a touch. That's a touch. That's nearly Zombie around. He manages to hold the car, and that is going to be P4 for Zombie as he looks to hunt down Dill, who will most likely have to make another pit stop in this race. So we have Zombie now. He is on the 1-stop strategy. Dill on a 2-stop strategy. He's gone from soft to softs, and now he's going to be looking for another set of mediums at the end of this race to close it out. We're going to be having a look now at the Ferraris just behind the action. Watchman has slid down into 6th already. Zombie is just ahead. The Renault is just ahead. Mitchie is right there. Watchman is right there. We're on board with Owens now, who is running the hard-tired compound in the Scuderia Ferrari. Watchman is looking for a move. It's not going to be there, though. He salts back into the racing line, takes the apex. As we go down now, he's going to have DRS. So will Mitchie. So will Zombie. No, he won't actually. He's outside of the DRS activation zone. And that's going to be Mitchie looking for a move out the inside now. Looks for the lunge. That's side by side. Zombie gives space very respectfully. And that's going to be the Williams now maintaining 5th position. However, he is going to have DRS through here as well, so he's going to be looking for a move. It's not going to be close enough, though, and he's going to have to harvest a little bit of energy to try and make another move work. Watchman right behind is in the same situation. So is DJ. Both of these cars, as you can see by the MFD screens, actually DJ has a lot more as Watchman runs wide. That's going to be DJ up into P6 now. P6 for DJ in the Ferrari. Watchman looking to make a bit of a recovery out of that. We're going to go on board with Mitchie as we go through turn 10, and that's going to be Mitchie with DRS now, looking for an opportunity to pass. He's going to be a little bit far behind, most likely. Use this as more of a energy recovery stream. Sorry, energy recovery DRS sector. As we have the F1 car of Mitchie coming into the penultimate corner now. We're about to go into the final corner as Wibber has a 3-second time penalty, so that is your race trailing car, Mercedes in P16 with a 3-second time penalty. Mitchie is looking for a move on Zombie. He's going to have DRS. He's draining his ERS. He's looking... He's making a move. This might be the opportunity. He falls a little bit short of where he'd like to be for the move. He slots back in the racing line. However, he will have the opportunity to follow it up in this sector from turns 3 to 4. There's a yellow flag, sector 2 and 3. Sorry. There's a yellow flag, sector 2 and 3. Sector 3 only now. Savory mince pie comes into the Savory mince pie gets a time penalty for multiple warnings. Mitchie is still holding position just behind Zombie Hunter. Dill and Zadonna have taken second and third position. We have RBHR Edge now. We're going to see if we can get some telemetry up from him. Or rather, look for drivers who have made a stop. Looking for tires. There we are. That's what we're looking for. So, Edge is on 14-lap-old hards now, so he has started the race on these. So that has effectively put him a whole pit stop behind Zadonna. Zadonna, a driver looking to make the one-stop or two-stop work. He started on softs, he went to mediums. Most likely the tires will not last the remainder of the race on the mediums. Zombie is on the hards right now. Only 3 laps old, and that will give him plenty of time in those tires to make it the end of the race. So right now he's going to be fighting everyone around him that he knows has to make a two-stop, because he knows that they need to make the stint worth more than his stint, because they will need to go into the pits once again. So Zombie now on the hards, looking up to Dill ahead on the mediums. He's got 5-lap fresher sets, and that may give him the opportunity. That may give him the grip. I'm not sure where the crossover point is. However, it does look like he is closing up on Dill now, and Dill is pushing up. He's trying to gap a little bit. It's not going to be enough on Zombie, though. Zombie will have the advantage of DRS here. We're going to see how this goes through this corner. DRS open. It's not going to be enough space for a move, though. He is right up on the gearbox. That's 3-second time penalty for your effective race leader. The two side-by-side cars, the Renault and the Alfa Romeo. The car in the provisional lead right now. Edge has not made a stop yet this race, and that means that we are looking at your provisional, your now pole sitter, sorry, your now race leader into the lead once again. Further back now we have Zombie. Zombie is looking for a move on the Renault of Dill as we cross the start-finish line to start lap 17 for these drivers. That's going to be Zombie looking up to the inside. They're going to go side by side. That's a touch. Zombie is going to be respectful, give him enough room there. However, the two drivers are scrapping it out. It's going to give Mitchie a chance for a run on the Renault. Dill has lost the position to the Renault and to... Sorry, Dill has lost the position to the Williams and the Red Bull ahead. However, he's going to fight back and regain a position on the Williams. The two cars have come in at the same time for the pit stops. Now we have the Ferrari directly up behind with the same set of hards that Zombie's running. So these two drivers, sorry, these four drivers, these two strategies have collided to create this set of racing at this time in the race. Most likely Mitchie and Dill will have to make a second stop, and they will really be suffering there. As you see Mitchie weaving to try and break the draft. That's going to be DJ looking into the inside of the corner of turn 11, and that's not going to be enough as we go into turn 12. He has got the better tires right now, but he's stuck behind an old set of mediums as Mitchie's going to run wide. That may give DJ the opportunity he needs to look for a move. However, that's not going to be DRS for DJ. It's going to be DRS for Mitchie, as Dill is only 0.5 of a second behind Zombie now. He's going to have DRS, and he's going to be looking to make a move happen. And Mitchie's gone into the pits. He's decided that it's too risky to stay out at this time with these with these hard cars. He's going to be looking for his second stop, his third set of tires, and will be hoping that he can make these tires work. We see Watchman has gone onto a fresh set of softs, so he's going to be hoping to make those last to the end of the race. and that may be a risky move. He's going to have some great pace out of the door, hopefully looking for fastest lap. However, he's not going to be able to challenge towards the later stages of this race, and he will be a sitting duck. We have Deal still half a second behind Zombie now, with DT360 just behind of Edge, who is still 10 seconds behind this battle. I'm not sure quite where I went there. We're going to go on board with Watchman real quick, who has the freshest set of softs on Calibo up ahead. And he's going to be looking to make a move happen real quick. He has to bail out of the corner, though, so that he doesn't hit Calibo. The tire is maybe not quite up to temperature yet, so that is going to be Watchman New Zealand looking for the move, trying to make it work. Calibo there gets a really bad run. He runs wide onto the curbing, and that is going to be Watchman into 11th position. So already he's managed to make the strategy work for at least one position there on the driver who is looking to take the hards to the end of the race. Further up ahead we have... Is there a collision somewhere? I'm not sure. However, DJ has made a move past the Renault. It's going to be Dill now looking to try and regain the position. However, he's not going to have DRS. Or maybe he did. DJ had DRS also, though. So these drivers now have swapped position. Dill has made all the way up to second in this race, but he keeps sliding down to 4th position. You have to wonder, is that where he belongs right now? On this set of tires, particularly. Zidane has made the two-stop work very well. He's come 13 seconds ahead of Zombie right now. He's going to be looking to make his third stint of tires very soon, with only 10 laps left in this Bahrain Grand Prix. A 13-second gap separates Zidane and Zombie. Right now, if Zidane went in, he would most likely come out somewhere around 5th or 6th position, which would mean that he would have to make passes on the final stages of this race to secure his race win, which he's worked so hard for this race already. Two cars have been have not finished this race. The two cars of Max Mate and Benny F1. Benny, there was an incident earlier on in the race, which ultimately resulted in his not finishing the race. DJ is just behind Zombie now in the Scuderia Ferrari, the number 12 car. He's going to have DRS through this sector now. He is trying to close up. These two cars have exactly the same age of hard compound tires, trying to take it to the end, so it will be interesting to see who can conserve them better and conserve pace better towards the latter stages of this race. Bit of a lull in the action right now. However, these cars are close enough to start looking to battle each other. DJ has come out just outside of a second, so he will most likely not have DRS through this second activation zone. And that is the case on this back straight at Bahrain. However, he's already closed up the gap just from the drive alone by about a tenth or two, and that will give him the opportunity to look for DRS on Zombie. Sedona decides to extend his stint even further. I'm not sure where his tires sit right now. However, DJ is just outside of DRS activation zone by 1/100th of a second, and that may cost him down a straight. However, it may not. The draft is powerful enough in these cars. As you see, his time is starting to come down to the car ahead, as if he already had DRS. He's brought it down by 2/10 just in the straight from the draft alone. So he's going to be looking and having to push harder and harder up into the final moments of the DRS activation zone. He does get DRS for the second zone now. However, we have Dills, who's coming for a fresh set of softs, so deciding to take the mediums in the middle stint and coming out on the softs for the final stint, trying to make up as many positions as he can. This is going to be an interesting one to watch. He's going to be fighting for fastest lap. He's going to be fighting his teammate for fastest lap. And he's going to be looking for the opportunity he needs to try and make points back up. Remember, he started in 4th position, so he does have the pace, but there are massive gaps in the field right now. So he's going to have to pick them off one by one and try and maximize his pace over the next 8 laps. So I'm going to ride on board with him as he tries to do that. His cold tires are still warming up. You see them now unchroming, starting to be a bit more matte, and that will give him more and more knowledge that his tires are wearing in. We have our race leader now in the pits. We're going to go on board with him and see exactly where he comes out. He will come out most likely around 4th or 5th position. So you see, he's already been passed by the one-stoppers. Where is he going to come out in relation to Edge? We're on board with Edge now as Zadonna comes out and he maintains 3rd position on the fresh softs. So now Zadonna has to gain 8 seconds on 1st and 2nd position. Zombie has inherited the lead of this race, and if he can make these tires work on the one-stop so far, then he will be able to call himself the race winner of this Bahrain Grand Prix as I come up to the back marker now of Savory Mince Pie. He's going to come off to the side of the track and allow these cars through. DJ is looking to close the gap now. These two have been fighting for the entire race along their fuel stints. Their tire stints. The Donner has already closed the gap up by a second. He needs to be lapping at least a second a lap faster than the top 2 cars right now in order to close the gap. And then he has to get past DJ, and then he has to get past Zombie. We've just had Miniature Man disqualified from the session for going the wrong way, and Wither gaining a 3-second time penalty for extended corner cutting. Watchman also getting a 3-second time penalty. So that goes once again onto his record of time penalties in this race so far. We have DJ pushing up still on Zombie. We have Zadonna, who has closed the gap by 2 seconds already on this lap. You saw Edge came out directly behind him. He has lapped 2 seconds just about quicker than Edge, which is giving him hope that he can get up to these cars, but he needs to manage his tires. If he doesn't manage them well enough, by the time he gets there, he may not have the rubber needed to battle for 1st position. However, it is looking like he has the potential to make the move work. Going back over to Mitchie now, we have Mitchie fighting against Dill. It's going to be a move around the outside. Is it going to work, though, is the question. He's going to end up going a little bit wide. That's going to be Dill maintaining 5th position at this time. Sorry. Perhaps there was a pass made. I believe there was a pass. Hold on. Let's us get the replay there. If we can. And see exactly where the cars were. We will actually do that next time. However, Mitchie, with DRS now only 4 tenths behind, is looking to defend his position, defend 5th position as hard as he can. He may be looking for a move on the soft-tired Dill, who's been on these tires now for 2 laps. Zadonna has taken another 1.5 seconds out of the cars ahead. He is on a mission to close the gap now up to the top 2, and this may give him the pace that he needs to push back up. You see he's lapped a 1:30.4, I believe that was. It got a little bit obstructed there by the color of the track and the surroundings. However, now we have Dill. Dill has DRS. He's going to be looking for a move. Going to go on board. He is closing. Sorry, that's Mitchie, not Dill. He goes up the inside. These two are going to go side by side into turn 1 of Bahrain. Mitchie not getting a lot of space, but that doesn't stop Dill. Dill manages to find a way back through, and that is going to be Mitchie with DRS once again. And he will be livid. He'll be making the move up the inside there, going a little bit deep. That's going to give Dill the opportunity for a cutback, and he has, and he's managed to defend his position. Let's have a look at that once again. So if we go to the instant replay there, we're going to see Dill taking the center of the track. We're going to have Mitchie up the inside, and it's just going to result in a crossover once again, in which Dill manages to regain the position. These two are still battling. Zdana is only 3 seconds behind now. Most likely to be considered one of the fastest drivers in this race today. He has put down the fastest time. He started on the front row of this race today, and he is fighting for the victory for a great weekend. So far in the championship, he is sitting in second position with 18 points, while Zombie is in first with 25. So if he can maintain fastest lap, and if he can take first position from Zombie, that will put him into first position in the championship so far. We have now Mitchie up the inside. It's going to be Dill losing the position once again. However, he's got to have DRS through this sector now, and perhaps looking to fight back. DJ has fallen back by a... Oh, what's happened there? He's just gone wide. We're going to look at that one again. Not sure what happened there. So you see the two cars are battling for position there. And ultimately, I think it's just going to be Mitchie who's going to go deep there. You see, oh, he got on the corner there. He got on the curbing. So when he tried to turn in for the corner, it just meant that he couldn't. It just dragged him out that way. Zdana now, dare I say, losing a little bit of life in his tires. He has closed up the gap by 6 seconds so far on the top two. DJ has fallen back by about a second on Zombie now. And Zdana is lapping like a man on a mission here. You see he's got 54% of his DRS left. The two cars up ahead with in sight. Three laps to make the move work. To make the dream reality. He is now equal distance between himself, Zdana, and Zombie. So Zdana is going to look for the move once he gets up there. Mitchie right now is still 6/10 of a second behind Dill. So Dill with the soft tires is managing to gap Mitchie now. We're going to look at Freeze, who's just behind Watchman. Watchman has plenty of penalties to slow him down enough post-race for Breeze not to attack. And he is 7 seconds behind the 6th place car. So if I were Freeze, I would probably just end up sitting behind him to make sure that I didn't get a DNF in this race also. I'm going to go on board with Zdana once again, who is now within a second of the car ahead. He has closed the gap up by 7.2 seconds, and he is now within DRS activation range down the main straight, which will almost guarantee him second position, bar anything go wrong. We're on lap 26, about to go into lap 27 once these cars round the final corner. The Red Bull of Zombie, the championship leader right now, is being hunted by Zdana, who has to make his way past DJ. That's DRS open for Zdana. We're going to go on board. Look at the speed difference already. He's closed the gap by a fair amount. It actually looks like he is conserving a bit more energy. He didn't close the gap that much, I don't think. However, he is within visual range of the game tag. Sorry, 4/10. It took a while for that to register. He does have so much more grip in the corners right now. He has to try and make it past DJ as quickly as possible before he loses the grip in the tires. That's going to be the one thing that has got to be on the back of his mind. How hard do I push? Do I risk these tires or not? That is going to be an issue that he has to worry about here. So we have DJ. Takes a better line. Zdana runs a little bit deep, but he's going to have DRS. DJ now, he comes towards the outside there. Zdana is going to be stuck behind DJ most likely until the DRS activation zone on the start finish straight due to the dirty air mechanics. However, he is close enough to get that move done now. He needs to get the move done now. We see Dubstep doing a 29.4, so he's decided that he's got enough of the gap that he can go for fastest lap, and he has. He's taken that point away from Zdana, so Zdana is now fighting to equalize the championship. because he's got DRS. He's going to look for a move up the inside. He gets the front half past the Ferrari. It's going to be side by side into turn 1 now. These two cars are battling. That's going to be DJ down into 3rd position. Zadona has made it up to 2nd. He has to close up by 1.5 seconds now on the race leader in order to make the 2-stop strategy worthwhile. Will he be able to do that in 1 lap? He had blistering pace when he came out on the softs, but I fear that those softs may be a little bit too hard to push all out on, but he's going to do it anyway. He has to close that gap. We have a change position further down the field. We have DJ and the Haas side by side now. Side by side. That's going to be DT further up and making the pass on Watchman finally. Zadona is not finding the pace he needs right now to close up the gap. He's closed it up by 2 tenths so far. However, at this rate, it's not going to be looking like a move until the last sector, as we have the Mercedes, I believe that was, of Withers obscuring the apex. It's going to cost Zadona a couple of tenths of a second, and he's not going to be able to make DRS activation by the time he gets to the start-finish straight here. He's going to have to try and push the car in every ounce it has around this last lap. There is 1.2 seconds between the one-stop hard runner of Zombie Hunter in the front and Zadona 22X in the 1.2 seconds behind, running the softs that are nearly half the age now of the car ahead. We have Zadona, the final lap of the race, 1.2 seconds behind Zombie. Is he going to be able to close that up? We have the Red Bull driver now taking us around up ahead. He closed the gap by 2 tenths, but he's not looking like he's going to be able to close it up enough to activate DRS for the Sector 2 sector back straight, and that may be his hopes of a race win here today dashed. Dill has slipped down to 6th position, but we're going to stay on board here real quick. Actually, we're going to go down to that. Dill is pushing up into 6th position. He has Mitchie right ahead, running the mediums, 11 laps old. Dill's tires now are 8 laps old. He's going to be having hit that crossover point, and he has to rely on his raw ability now to try and make the position up on Mitchie. Zadona is 1.2 seconds behind as we go into the penultimate corner. That is not going to be enough race distance. That is not going to be close enough for DRS. It's not going to be enough DRS for him to activate. So that is going to be Zombie. Once he crosses the corner, crosses the line, that is going to be Zombie taking his consecutive win of the Formula 1 AOR F1 Hype Energy Series Season 5. And that is Zombie, race winner. And Zadona had the 5-second time penalty. He had the 5-second time penalty, or 4 seconds or whatever it was. 3 seconds, sorry, that is for multiple warnings, and that is going to be him down in the 3rd position. So heartbreak there for Zadona, who pushed so hard to try and make his way back up. However, Owens now rounds the final corner. He's going to be 8th position just behind the Williams. Freeze is going to be in 10th. We have the 2 lap cars already finishing, and that is going to be the conclusion of today's race. We have some drivers and still have about half a lap to go. However, your race winner today is Zombie Hunter for the 2nd consecutive week of this championship. Congratulations to him on this endeavor, and that will mean that he will extend his championship lead to 50 points overall coming into the next week. We're waiting now only on Dubstep to finish the race. As he crosses the line, that is the finish of the Bahrain Grand Prix for AOR. Your race winner today, Zombie Hunter. In 2nd place, DJ. In 3rd position, we have the Renault driver of Zadona. Heartbreak for the man trying to make the 2-stop work. Had a 3-second time penalty and ultimately was not able to close up to pass 1st on track and got passed by 3rd, going into 2nd, the Ferrari, due to penalties. Not the way that we wanted that to go today. ultimately, what an amazing race it has been today at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Here are your race standings for one last time. We have Zombie in first, DJ in second, Zidonna in third due to a time penalty. In 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, we have Edge, Mitchie, Dill, DT3600, Owens, Freeze, and Watchman rounding out your top 10. In 11th, Calbo, 12th, Panish, 13th, Dubstep, 14th, Withers, 15th, Savory Mince Pies, 16th, Maxmate, 17th, Benny F1, and 18th, Miniature Man. What a race it has been. Highs and lows everywhere. Ultimately, it has been so much fun to watch and commentate today, and makes me really regret that I had not left my prior job earlier and now have my Sundays free. However, all things going well, I will hopefully be able to commentate these races further in the future, and I hope only the best for this series. Thank you so much for watching today as we go into the final moments of the stream. Make sure to subscribe if you liked stuff like this. Most likely this stream will not be happening again. However, we will have the LSEM 100 streamed once again next Saturday for the second round of the season. That is that is Long Beach, California. I've been your host today, Kian Butler, LSEM the Butler, on the Lightspeed Network channel for the AOR Hype Energy F1 League, Xbox One Oceania, and thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.
As he looks, move around the outside, down the hill, still at the inside. And that's gonna be
Oh!